knowledge and experience by now. So, and you know that my topic for this session is on NIPUN. Okay, that is based on that our latest NEP 2020. So, before I go on to the topic, let me just sing a line for you. So, it will come on a lighter mood, right? So, and actually, this song is sung by Kavita Krishnamurthy, and it's a melodious voice. You know, Kavita has got such a melodious voice, but bear with my voice and please listen. Huh? The song goes like this. Okay, now comes my question. So, participants, have you, maybe I don't know how many of you must have heard this song. It's an advertisement. Okay, and this advertisement, I want you all to tell me what is this advertisement related with?
Nature.
Pardon?
Nature.
Nature. No, I'm sorry.
Ma'am, is it light or bulb?
No.
Sun.
Maybe I think I have, you know, this advertisement used to come in Doordarshan long back, and maybe like over here, Trivandrum Doordarshan must be telecasting the same song with the same tune in Malayalam also. I don't know, but let me tell the answer. It is on Saksharta Mission. Rashtriya Saksharta Mission. You know, when I was doing my maybe my college, it was in during my college days. So like it was, you all know that our education policy long back in 1986. It was the first education policy. It was like formulated, and after that for what do you call for giving the details and all, you can see that some advertisements and all were given. So in that process, this advertisement was made, and the line for this was each one teach one. Those days, long back. Okay. So every time what we find is whenever our education policies have to be made by our educationists or our eminent people, they look at the demand of those days. So that those days it was, you know, to make the whole nation Shakshar. So it was a Shaksharta mission, Rashtriya Saksharta mission. Okay. Now, participants, let me just show you one video also. And let me present it first. This video is also based on Sarva Siksha Abhiyan. Okay. It was for the small children, especially you can see that children from all the remote places are coming out of their house and they are going to school. You have seen two eminent personalities in that video. I would like Gautam sir, please can you tell me about that?
That's Atal Bihari Vajpayee and APJ Abdul Kalam.
Yes, correct. So they are the two eminent personalities, very good human beings, and you know how much they have contributed their life towards our country. Okay. So here what I would like to tell you is all these steps taken towards the education. The latest one, which we are just now following, and the one which I am going to say and speak about is NIPUN Bharat. Okay, that is which we have, which was inaugurated and in 2020, and it's called NEP 2020, under which NIPUN Bharat comes. So let me just show you. This is the slide which I want to show you all. So I know that you all have been listening about so many sub parts of the full, what we call NIPUN Bharat mission. Under NIPUN Bharat mission, what all we have learned just now, or what all we have heard in these 2 days, are under NIPUN Bharat. So it maybe you will find that things which I am saying is repeated. So bear with me and just like listen, and maybe it can be a sort of a summary session for you. Okay. So here you can see NEP 2020 is providing what? The basic thing which I want to tell you is then Education Minister Ramesh Pokhriyalji has put in a very nice way to explain that how to think and what to think. Okay, so before explaining this, I would like to tell you there was a what do you call an inference given by World Bank's Learning Poverty Index. They had told that what is the problem is 55% of school-going children cannot read and understand a short, age-appropriate text by class 5. So that was the problem, and that was detected, and hence we got into this NEP 2020 NIPUN Bharat mission. Okay, what else was said? Research suggested that class 3 is an inflection point only if children learn to read by then. Do they read to learn? Means by 3rd standard the child must read it with understanding. That is the inflection point, means that's the right point that child should be able to read with understanding. Okay. And then once it is achieved there, further the job of the teachers also become easy, and there is a meaningful learning taking place. Okay. So this was again I'll see how to think and what to think. When we say what to think, actually what are we doing? We are giving them the things what they have to think. Means it is imposed on them. But when we say how to think means it is not our ideas. We are actually making the children to think just by presenting the topic. We are asking them to think about it. Believe me, teachers, I have seen that small children can be so creative. So when we go to how to think and we give them the freedom to think, they do it very nice. Okay. So the aim of NIPUN program is that every child in India gets fundamental literacy and numeracy. That is FLN by grade 3, and that is we are going to achieve it by 26-27. And you know the full form of NIPUN. So shall I ask one of you what is the full form? It's already given on my slide also, but let me ask one of you. Okay, can I ask Tara Krishnan? Can you tell me the full form of NIPUN? Sarah Krishnan there?
Yes, ma'am.
Could you tell me the full form of NIPUN?
Ma'am, National Initiative for Proficiency in Reading with Understanding and Numeracy.
Right. Thank you. So that is, we are going to have reading and numeracy both are there. But the reading means again comes the language, but it should be with understanding. You're right. Now, what is the meaning in that word nipun in Hindi? You know, can anybody help me? Any one of you. What is the word meaning of nipun in Hindi? Nipun word actually is Hindi word. Can you tell me what?
Ma'am, is it complete?
Not exactly complete. but it is
Mastery.
Mastery. That is correct. Mastery or expertise. You know, you are becoming an expert. So our target is to make our children expert, and then later on, you know, as you go on, we are giving them certain skills, and then they are learning the vocational skills, and you know, better citizens of tomorrow. So that is how Nipun, that is the word meaning Nipun, is that you are expertise or you are having a mastery. Right. Now you can see on my screen that there are given some target, lakshya, target of Nipun Bharat mission, and it is written in Hindi. The first, second, and the fourth one is you have to make it you have to make the children do it. And 5, 6, and 7 is on the part of the teachers and the stakeholders. Okay. So the first one is खेल खोज और गतिविधि आधारित शिक्षा शास्त्र. So that is what we are doing for the children. Children are supposed to do the studies by playing and by finding out things by themselves and by doing activity. Gatividhi is activity. Okay. And then the second one is बच्चों को प्रेरित स्वतंत्र समझ के साथ पढ़ने लिखने के संलग्न और लिखने और पढ़ने के स्थायी कौशल वाला बनाना. Means the child is developing certain competencies, and these competencies have to be permanent. It has to be carried forward. So you have to prerit means you have to give them inspiration and let them independently read, think, and understand. And the third one is बच्चों को संख्या, माप और आकार के क्षेत्र को तर्क के साथ समझने और उन्हें गणना और समस्या के समाधान में स्वतंत्र बनाना. Means they are going to make the children independently read, write, language in the this is Ganana, Map, and Akar means you can rightly understand it is mathematics. So numeracy, numbers, and Map is measurement, Akar is shapes. So the fourth one is बच्चों की परिचित घर मातृभाषा भाषाओं के शिक्षण सामग्री की उपलब्धि सुनिश्चित कराना. That is, we have to you all know that in NEP we give importance in the early stage. We also give importance for the mother tongue, right? So we are supposed to give them materials which will enhance or enrich them with these languages. So these four are for the children. And now the first one is शिक्षकों, प्रधानाध्यापकों और शिक्षा प्रशासकों का क्षमता निर्माण. Means this is what one of the some क्षमता निर्माण is we are making our teachers giving them knowledge of all this NIPUN Bharat, the NEP, all this, and it's not only the teachers, it's Pradhanadhyapak, principals, and parents also are involved in it, and so all the stakeholders. We are equally, in hand we have to work out for this, and we have to make our children very efficient. The sixth one is आजीवन सीखने की एक मजबूत नींव बनाना. The child when is the childhood level when they are learning, then you must have noticed that at times the children get this subject I don't like, this subject it's very hard. That feeling has to be uprooted from the children, so that children will have that feeling of learning any subject or in any situation all the time they are ready to. And then what is portfolio, समूह और मित्र मिलजुल कर जो कार्य करे वो आयोजन कार्य, then प्रश्नोत्तरी, रोल प्ले, खेल, मौखिक प्रस्तुतिकरण, छोटे टेस्ट आदि के माध्यम से सीखना. So we are going to teach them through this. We are already doing portfolio, right, about the children details, and we have समूह और मिलकर group activity में do. And there's something called peer learning. In NEP, we are also putting a lot of importance we are giving to peer learning. So the teachers, when you are teaching in the classroom, they can be asking the children, because you must be noticing that when they are giving some activities like for CC and all, such good project work and videos they are making. So on not only on the CC activities or Sunday activities or give them the topic and ask them to what ideas they thought about it and prepare some videos, and that give them a chance to teach their friends. So that will help the other children also, so they get an encouragement and they will try. They are attracted towards such work. And these days the children are so taking media, like they are loving all the using gadgets and also they will definitely. And what are we doing? We are giving some small tests and all. So when a child is preparing a video and is presenting it, you can grade them for that. There's no problem, no harm in that. सभी विद्यार्थियों के सीखने के स्तर की ट्रैकिंग सुनिश्चित करें. This is on the part of the assessment. When I joined, I think Rajima Madam was doing this. This is tracking सुनिश्चित करना means we have to track at every level. Have the child attained what our mission is.
കളറാണ് കൊടുക്കുന്നത്. കളർ കൊടുത്താൽ മതി. അതിനകത്ത് ഓപ്ഷൻ ഉണ്ട്. ഇത് കൊടുക്കുന്നതിന് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു കളർ
Here again, the same thing is there. I'm just reading it for you. Developing a strong foundation of language literacy and mathematical skill in the early years. That is age 9 is critical to all future learning. This understanding of early literacy development complements the current research, supports the critical role of early experiences in shaping brain development. When the part of brain development comes, dear teachers, you all know that 85% of our brain, it is developed prior to the age of 6. So, and you can understand that how much food the brain needs. Right? We can give it to them, it can be stored. You must have also seen that some of the children, they learn so many, like small children, they learn so many languages. When they are very small, many languages they learn, many things are there in their memory. So in the YouTube and all you can see what children are doing. Really they are working so good. It is only I'm trying to tell that that is the child making like we don't have to think that is it okay to give them so much. It is okay because the child is able to take it. Okay. And the next one again, it is how the teachers, how the students are going to do it by 2026 and 27, and then FLN. And what is the teacher is going to do? Teacher capacity building, what we are doing now. Right now what we are doing is we are building your capacity. So that is teachers, we are going to provide them all with that, and then tracking of the things which have been already done. Okay. Now, here is key component of foundational language and literacy. So literacy skills, children have foundational literacy skills if they have the ability to. If they are able to pronounce 90% and they are going to interpret some information and answer inferential questions. Means we are providing with them some knowledge and out of that, giving the answer out of it. That is literacy skills. And the numeracy skills, they are able to read the numbers aloud, determine which number is larger, smaller, all that, and calculate simple addition questions. And then we come recognize a pattern. When a certain numbers are given, in the sequence, they should know what is the pattern in that. That is how it's for the numeracy. And key components in foundational language and literacy. This has already been shared by, I think Sarah ma'am has said, or yeah, yes, right. Sarah ma'am has already given you about the languages. So still, I don't want to just extend about too much about it. So oral language development, reading comprehension, concept about print. Madam has nicely said about the print, how we can, classrooms and the surroundings can be made print rich. So as they, keep on watching those printed letters and those words, they are getting familiarized with it and they are learning it and it will stay in their memory for a longer period. Then is writing. Writing involves the ability to express themselves in writing initial stages like the familiarity and understanding encoded sounds to write words. So initial writing, when we give a writing part to the small children, we give them something which is very familiar to them. Okay. And then later on, make the level higher and higher. So, then entry level assessment of class 1 students. This also my madam must have explained it to you. But why this entry level? To design effective curricular transaction and ensure that outcomes are attained. Tracking progress of every child is necessary to succeed in the mission. So, dear friends, let me call you dear friends, we all are in a mission. So that our country, each child who has been, given to us, given in our hands, attains the outcome is attained and becomes effective person. Okay. So for that also, later on I'll explain you some goals are there set. That also I'll tell you. Now, what does the Sangathan KVS expects from us? So here it is written: reimagine learning and create conducive environment. So this reimagine learning means, I just want to tell you, when a child comes to you, don't feel that we are giving them something in new and
Black and white.
filling their knowledge. They are already having certain knowledge in them, and as a child also, as a baby learns the language from the family members, and before coming to school, like so many things they are watching, they are learning, their knowledge is there. So we can reimagine their learning. So many things in just group them and analyze this is a better understanding. And that we have to do only in a creative continuous. We need to welcome the children, especially at primary level. We enter the class, whatever be in our minds, whatever we have behind our minds, that shouldn't come on our faces. We always should have a smiling face and we are ready to welcome them. Make them feel, and then they open up to you. They are so close to you. And many of you must be experiencing it. Who will do all this? So we have to if not now, then when we will. If not us, we are at the ground level, the grassroots level. All these are formulated by eminent people. It is through research found out that these are things that we are lagging behind. These are being planned for it. So we have to work on it. Now here again the targets, everything of foundation literacy and numeracy is given in oral language. What is expected for a class 1 child? Friends, talk about the print availability, try to recite poems and rhymes. And here I would like to tell you something. We as a primary teacher, we should not have any, what do you call shy feeling. You just try to become like them. You know, then if you're saying that if you're talking about my skills, then oh, I do love ice cream. You know, you make them feel okay, this teacher is also okay with it. So then they open out, you know, I like this ice cream, and that way you can, you know, make them very the feeling of, you know, conducive environment in the class. Then read, participate reading aloud, and then uses the sound and symbols, read small sentences. Then later on, they can go from known text to unknown text. Then writing, they develop some mantras in Hindi. You know, mantras are so important. Mantras are very hard for the mantras. So mantras are pretty good practice, and then they write, draw, and you know, go to express something through drawing or through writing. And numeracy counts of the objects up to 20, reads and writes numbers up to 90, and then selection is there. And then the 3D objects. Spatial understanding is also very important, right? You can, especially in mathematics, you can see, we start, in the class when we start with just circles, triangles and all that, and we give them a picture, count the number of triangles in this picture, count the number of circles, all that we go on, and then we come to class 2 also a little more further, and then class 3 also a little more further, and by the end of class 4 you know shapes and angles the lesson in class, and teach them the angles and how which is the strongest shape and all that stuff. So by step we teach. Estimate and verify the length and of non-standard non-uniform units like handspan, footstep, fingers. All this activity can be nicely done in the class. Okay, you just measure the hand, how many handspan is your desk. All that way, you can try to, a desk is there and you can, you know, there's cubit also, and from here to here it's called the cubit, the fora. So measuring the blackboard, all this, just whatever available materials is there around in and around the class that can be used. Create and this is, okay, let me just go to the next one. So entry level assessment, about entry level assessment is given here. This all we have already done. You all must have, like those who have joined previous, just before admission time, class 1 admission, when they are coming to us, we have to check their level, entry level it is called. How much the child has with him, that has to be tested. For that, you remember the Google Sheet was shared to all the schools. We all teachers at the class 1 level have found out what level the children are, and then we had to send it to the RO also, if you remember. Let me go further. In that, tool, oral ability in English, writing ability in English, reading ability in English, numeracy skills, and Hindi it is maukhik bhasha kshamta, that is oral, lekhan kshamta, then pathan kshamta. All this was there, tested on that level, and here. This was level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. We found out whether the child is in level 1 condition, level 2, level 3, level 4, and we had given them the grades, right? This is all for, the first one is for oral language ability, the second one is writing ability in English, third one is reading ability in English, and this one is the numeracy skill, and yeah, this one is in Hindi. So oral skills of Hindi language. This is writing skills of Hindi language, and this is the reading skills. Okay, so these all things have been continuously in 2 days have been fed to you all and explained to you all. Right now, what here I would like to tell you is, in a class when we go and we give some, say for example, I start with ABS parts of body. In online, I have seen in online, it's some things were blessings for us, because when the child was learning in online classes, we saw that we could for EVS, say for example, I started EVS, I asked them parts of body, and we saw the children could explain parts of body by bringing the toys in front of us. They explained it so well, and we could relate it how many eyes, how many fingers, all those numbers also were involved, and color of their toys. So color was involved. This way we could put so many things to them, and so much of knowledge was given. It actually goes on integrated. It's language and EVS and mathematics is never taught isolated. And we primary teachers are we got to be teaching all the languages. We should be smart enough to teach all the languages. All the subjects, all 4 subjects. Right? We are not specific to any subject. Okay, then that's all what I wanted to just tell you. Before closing, I will just tell you thank you very much for listening to me. And now